Madam President.
Delegate 1.
Thank you, Madam President. I move to take from the table the motion that was previously tabled at our meeting that states, I move that our FFA chapter purchases a new desktop computer and printer for our FFA Public Relations Committee.
Second. It has been moved and seconded to take from a table a motion that was tabled at our previous meeting that states, I move that our FFA chapter purchases a new desktop computer and a printer for our FFA Public Relations Committee. This motion is not amendable, but is debatable and is not amendable nor debatable and requires a majority vote. All those in favor of taking this motion to the table, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
Motion is lost. Is there any new business?
Madam President.
Delegate 1.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that our FFA chapter sponsors a monthly podcast for the 2024-2025 school year, with 1 month dedicated to the benefits of using parliamentary procedure.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the RFFA chapter sponsors a monthly podcast for the 2024-2025 school year, with 1 month dedicated to the benefits of using parliamentary procedure. This motion is amendable, debatable, and requires a majority vote. Is there any debate?
I object to consideration of the question.
Consideration of the question has been objected to. Shall we consider this motion? All in favor of consideration, please signify by rising. Please be seated. All opposed? Please be seated. The vote is 4-1. Motion is lost. We shall consider this motion. Is there any discussion on the main motion?
Madam President.
Delegate 1, you have first rights to debate.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm strongly for this main motion, as this is a great way to spread the word about FFA in agriculture, and also this is a great way to inform the people about Parley Pro, as it is not a very popular thing. So please vote up on this motion.
Madam President.
Delegate 4.
Thank you, Madam President. I move to divide the question into 2 parts, with the first part stating, I move that our FFA chapter sponsors a monthly podcast for the 2024-2025 school year, and the second part saying, I move that our FFA chapter sponsors a monthly podcast with 1 month dedicated to the benefits of using parliamentary procedure.
Second. It has been moved and seconded to divide the question into 2 parts, with the first part stating, I move that our FFA chapter sponsors a monthly podcast for the 2024-2025 school year, and the second part stating, I move that our FFA chapter sponsor a monthly podcast with 1 month dedicated to the benefits of using parliamentary procedure. This motion is amendable, but not debatable, and requires a majority vote. Are there any amendments? Seeing none, we'll now proceed to vote. All those in favor of dividing the question into 2 parts, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
Motion is lost.
Madam President.
Delegate 5.
Thank you, Madam President. I am strongly against this main motion. I believe it would be overkill to have a whole entire month dedicated to just speaking about parliamentary procedure. We believe in the benefits of parliamentary procedure, but not every person is going to run a meeting in their lifetime or have to become a president or assume duties of this. So I also think that this would be a terrible idea. I'm ready to submit help me fail this main motion.
Madam President.
Delegate 3.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise in strong negation against this main motion. We just spent a little over $20,000 on a trip to Florida to educate 8 of our members about the Florida agricultural industry. I believe this would be very irrational for us to sponsor a monthly podcast, and maybe we can consider this once we become more financially stable. Vote no.
Now is the question of privilege affecting the assembly?
Please state your question, Delegate
Maybe
5.
just the thermostat is very uncomfortable in here.
Unfortunately, we cannot, because we do not have access to that.
Thank you.
I appeal from the decision of the chair.
Second. It has been moved and seconded to appeal the decision of the chair. All those in favor of sustaining the decision of the chair, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
Motion is lost.
Division.
A division has been called. We'll now proceed with the rising vote. All those in favor of sustaining the decision of the chair, please signify by rising. Please be seated. All opposed? Please be seated. The vote is 3-2. Motion is lost. Chair's decision is sustained.
Madam President.
Delegate 2.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm strongly against this main motion. Currently, we have not very many members interested in parliamentary procedure at this year due to the fact that we could barely find people for our parliamentary procedure team. If we were to have this podcast based on parliamentary procedure, I feel we would not get very many listeners and we would not get the word out like we want to. Vote down.
Madam President.
Delegate 4.
Thank you, Madam President. I am strongly in favor of this motion. I believe this is a fantastic idea. This is a great way to get our name out into the world. This would be a great way of getting us out, and maybe the community could recognize us a little bit more. I also believe this would be a fantastic idea if we were to do a month about parliamentary procedure, as we have great knowledge, as we sent 2 teams, conduct of chapter meetings, and parliamentary procedure to the national contest. I urge the Assembly to vote up on this motion.
I rise for parliamentary inquiry.
Please state your inquiry.
What vote is required to pass this main motion?
A majority vote is required.
Thank you.
Madam President.
Delegate 3.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm going to postpone this motion indefinitely.
It has been moved and seconded to postpone this matter indefinitely. This motion is not amendable, but is debatable and requires a majority vote. Is there any debate?
Madam President.
Delegate 3, your first rights to debate.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm an avid proponent for this postponement. With the 2024-2025 school year, we'll have an officer team switch roles as our new officers will be coming in. If we were to decide this right now, I believe we'd be able to, or not be able to, but we'd have much confusion amongst the two officer teams and really wouldn't understand what was going on. For these reasons, I encourage a yes vote for postponement.
Madam President,
Delegate 5.
thank you, Madam President. Although I was against the main motion, I do not believe we should kill it off. Just because we are going to talk about parliamentary procedure on it, I still believe it's a good idea to have a podcast in general. Our reporters can do an amazing job through this podcast, and they always want new responsibilities to take on, especially for their top 10 chapter reporter. Please vote up, down on this postponement.
Madam President.
Delegate 2.
Thank you, Madam President. I am in strong favor for this postponement. We simply would have no one to run this podcast due to the fact that our reporters are relatively new and inexperienced and will be extremely swamped with many new press releases and other things to put in the newspaper. I'm urging the Assembly to vote up.
Madam President.
Delegate 1.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm strongly against this postponement as many people in our chapter are very gifted at speaking and they would love to this idea to host a podcast. Also, this is a great way to spread the word about FFA and continue the great ways to do this. Please vote down on this postponement.
Madam President,
Delegate 5.
thank you, Madam President. I move to fix the time to which to adjourn so that when this meeting adjourns, it adjourns to meet at 3 p.m. in the Ag classroom.
Second.
It has been moved
I
and
withdraw my
seconded.
motion.
Motion withdrawn. Is there any more discussion on the postponement? Seeing none, we'll now proceed to vote. All those in favor of postponing this matter indefinitely, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
Motion is lost. Is there any more discussion on the main motion?
Madam President.
Delegate 4.
Thank you, Madam President. I move to amend this motion by striking out monthly and inserting weekly.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to strike out the word month, to amend the main motion by striking out the word monthly and inserting the word weekly. So if adopted, the motion will read, I move that our FFA chapter sponsors a weekly podcast for the 2024-2025 school year with 1 month dedicated to the benefits of using parliamentary procedure. This motion is amendable, debatable, and requires a majority vote. Is there any debate?
Madam President.
Delegate 4, your first right to debate.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm strongly in favor of this motion. I believe this is a fantastic idea because our chapter is all about giving more opportunities to our members. I believe that if we were to strike out monthly and insert weekly, we could give more opportunities to more members as they have more chances to get on this podcast and actually learn a little bit about this. For these reasons, I urge the Assembly to vote up.
Madam President.
Delegate 5.
Thank you, Madam President. I am strongly against the amendment. If we move this to weekly, I believe we will have nothing to talk about in this podcast during the fall months whenever we do not have a lot of competitions or events. This would only be beneficial in the spring whenever we have a lot of competitions and events that our members are highly participating in. I'm urging the Assembly to help me fail this amendment.
Madam President.
Delegate 1.
Thank you, Madam President. Due to the arrival of our guest speaker, I move to lay this matter on the table.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to lay this matter on the table. This motion is not amendable nor debatable and requires a majority vote. All those in favor of laying this matter on the table, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
Motion is lost.
Madam President.
Delegate 2.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm in strong negation for this amendment. If we were to change this to weekly, we run the risk of having no one to run this due to the fact that many of our members are in extracurriculars and are studying for CDEs and hold jobs locally in the town. We won't have anyone to run this podcast, and it would not work out very well. I'm urging the Assembly to vote down.
Madam President.
Delegate 5.
Thank you, Madam President. I move to refer this to the Standing Agriculture Advocacy Committee.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to refer this motion to the Standing Agriculture Advocacy Committee. This motion is amendable, debatable, and requires a majority vote. Is there any debate?
Madam President.
Delegate 5.
Thank you, Madam President. I believe this is an amazing referral. If we send this to the Agriculture Advocacy Committee, they will know exactly what to do with this, seeing as they've done events like this in the past. Also, they're one of our chapter reporters, so they would also be able to greatly benefit or negate from this. I'm urging so they help me pass referral.
Madam President.
Delegate 3.
Thank you, Madam President. I believe this referral is a wonderful idea. Our committees are at the most efficient and effective they've ever been in recent years, all due to our newly elected vice presidents. Our VPs have done a wonderful job communicating and coordinating with our committees. Therefore, I believe it is highly unlikely that this motion will slip through the cracks or be forgotten about. Vote yes.
Madam President.
Delegate 1.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm strongly against this referral. Although previously stated committees have been very efficient, this committee seems to be the least efficient of our committees. We've also been giving them several events and they need a break, so please vote down this referral.
Madam President.
Delegate 4.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm strongly against this motion. I believe this is a terrible idea. As our chapter strives for academic excellence, and many of our committee chairmen, such as this one, are in many weighted and dual credit courses. I do not believe they will have the time or manpower to put into this motion. I just simply vote no.
Madam President.
Delegate 2.
Thank you, Madam President. I move the previous question.
Second.
Previous question has been called. This motion is not amendable nor debatable and requires a 2/3 vote. All those in favor of previous question, please signify by rising. Please be seated. All opposed? Please be seated. The vote is 3 to 2. Motion is adopted. Will not.
Point of order.
Please state your point.
The motion will not get adopted as there is 3 to 2, not a 2/3 majority vote.
Point well taken. This motion is failed. Is there any more discussion on the referral?
Madam President.
So I'll get 3.
Thank you, Madam President. I move to postpone this motion to our next regularly scheduled meeting at 3 p.m.
Second. It has been moved and seconded to postpone this matter to the next regularly scheduled meeting at 3 p.m. This motion is admissible, debatable, and requires majority vote. Is there any debate?
Madam President.
So I'll get 3.
Thank you, Madam President. We should not rush into passing this main motion as there are still many details we need to figure out. The third paragraph of the FFA creed states, I believe my own ability to work efficiently and think clearly. By postponing this motion, I believe we'd be able to get a clear idea on what to do about this. I also believe this will provide a more efficient outcome for our chapter. Vote yes.
Madam President.
So I'll get 4.
Thank you, Madam President. I am strongly against this motion. I believe this is a terrible idea because at our next regularly scheduled meeting at 3 p.m., there's also a softball game going on. Since a large percentage of our members are on the softball team, I do not believe we will have a quorum present to transact business. I urge you simply to vote no.
Madam
So
President.
I'll get 1.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm strongly for this postponement as we'd be able to check with our advisors and get their advice on this as they are very knowledgeable on this topic. Also, we'd be able to check our funds and see if we have the sufficient funds to be able to do this. Please vote up.
Madam
So I'll
President.
get 2.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm strongly against this motion. At our next meeting, we have a guest speaker coming in to talk to our members about mental health. We simply will have no time to deal with this motion and the rest of our agenda. Vote down.
Thank you. Is there any more discussion on the postponement? Seeing none, we'll now proceed to vote. All those in favor of postponing this matter to the next regularly scheduled meeting at 3 p.m., please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
Motion is adopted. This motion is now postponed to the next regularly scheduled meeting at 3 p.m. Is there any new business?
Madam
So I'll
President.
get 2.
Thank you, Madam President. I move to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to adjourn this meeting. All in favor of adjournment, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is adopted. Meeting adjourned. Please stand for the questions.
Alrighty, number 1, you had take from the table. If a motion is not taken from the table within the required time limits, what happens to it?
The motion is not taken from the table in the required time limits. That motion is lost.
Second question, when may a motion that was laid on the table be taken from the table?
A motion that was laid on the table can be taken from the table when there's no current business pending.
Number 2, you had previous question. Name 3 undebatable, privileged, or subsidiary motions that the previous question can be applied to.
Could you repeat the question, please?
Yes, ma'am. Name 3 undebatable, privileged, or subsidiary motions that the previous question can be applied to.
3 subsidiary or privileged motions that previous question could be applied to is recess, postpone indefinitely, and delay on the table.
Your second question. May a member conclude his or her debate on a main motion by moving the previous question?
Yes.
Can you explain your answer?
A member can conclude their debate by saying, I move the previous question.
Thank you. Number 3, you had postponed indefinitely. If the motion to postpone indefinitely is pending and the main motion is definitely postponed, what happens to the motion to postpone indefinitely?
The motion to postpone indefinitely is carried over to the next meeting with the main motion.
Second question, what is the effect of the motion to postpone indefinitely on the pending question?
It would kill the motion for the duration of the session.
Just about this. That's the last one. Number 4, division of a question. What 2 subsidiary motions can be applied to a division of a question alone?
2 subsidiary motions that can be, actually, please restate the question.
What 2 subsidiary motions can be applied to a division of a question alone?
2 subsidiary motions that can be applied to division of the question are amend and previous question.
Second question, is an amendment applied to division of a question debatable? Explain your answer.
No, it is not, because the division of the question is undebatable.
Thank you. Number 5, you had withdraw a question. Is the motion to withdraw a motion in order when another member has the floor?
Yes, you can withdraw your motion when another member has the floor.
What does it mean when a motion is said to be the property of its mover?
Can you repeat the question?
What does it mean when a motion is said to be the property of its mover.
A motion is the property of its mover whenever it is not the assembly's, so the chair has not restated it. Therefore, the member can amend it without having to make a motion to amend, so they can change it and withdraw it before the chair restates it and gives it to the assembly.
Thank you. Madam Chair, explain to me how the presiding officer would participate in debating a main motion.
Can you please restate the question?
Explain to me how the presiding officer would participate in debating a main motion.
The presiding officer can participate in debating the main motion by relinquishing the chair to one of the highest ranking vice presidents.
Your second question, under what circumstance is a person presiding at a meeting addressed as Mr. or Madam Chairperson?
Please restate the question.
Under what circumstance is a person presiding at a meeting addressed as Mr. or Madam Chairperson?
Can you restate the question?
This is the last one. Under what circumstance is a person presiding at a meeting addressed as Mr. or Madam Chairperson?
When the president is not, present, not present.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, good job. You guys